Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Jen. Thanks for joining me today. I'm just taking you along for a little bit of a day in the life with me. This was a few days before Christmas. Really didn't have much to do. We don't have big holiday get-togethers. It's really just our immediate family, like just Jeremy and I and our kids. So I like to keep our holidays very simple, very easy. I do not want to stress about it. I don't want to have a lot to do. I'm someone that has a hard time resting often anyway. I usually am like keeping busy. I've always got that running to-do list in my head. I like to feel productive. I'm kind of that person who's always on the wheel. You know what I mean? I'm that hamster always on the wheel. So I've really, the past few years, along with like decluttering and becoming more minimal, my intention for doing so was so that I could have more rest, more time to just try and relax, not feel like, oh, I shouldn't be sitting down. Oh, I shouldn't be doing this because I could be doing this. Well, this needs to get done. Oh, I really, shouldn't be doing this because there's this, and this that needs to get done. And I don't want to live my whole life like that. I don't know when I became that sort of person. And I don't want to be like that. And I don't want my kids to grow up and remember that, like, oh, mom was just always cleaning or doing this or doing that. And, she didn't really sit down and, like, play games with us or do this. Or, we didn't have time to go and do this because there was always things that needed to be done at home. I don't want that to be, like, the memory that my kids have of me. So I've really just tried the past few years to be more intentional about having a more minimal schedule, being okay with doing less. And part of that is like the less things you have, the less you have to maintain them. The less things you have, the less you have to clean them. So I have tried to be more intentional, especially around the holidays, so that I can actually sit back and enjoy them. Take some pictures, because I know I'm not alone in this, but how many birthdays of your kids have you gotten all of the stuff ready? The gifts are wrapped, the treats are made, everything's set up, you've decorated, it's beautiful, you love it, you want to make sure that they have a great time. And then you wake up the next morning and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't even know if I got any pictures of them. Did I get like one picture? Because I've had birthdays or holidays like that. Usually I record like us singing happy birthday, and I definitely record us, like our kids opening gifts on Christmas. That way we have the home videos and things like that, because that's something that I don't remember my family doing. So as an adult, like I don't have those memories to look back on from when I was a kid, and I want my kids to be able to have that. And if they want it, they can see what it was like and get that look back on their childhood. But yeah, I never want to have another holiday or a birthday where I'm like, ugh, I didn't get any pictures, or like I got like one picture, or I got pictures of like some of the kids, but not all of the kids together, or I have no pictures of me with my kids on this holiday or this birthday. And that's a bummer. That's a bummer. So all that to say, I didn't do a whole lot today, but I just wanted to take you along with my day anyway. I know some people really, really enjoy, the crazy holidays, or you've got 3 different families that you go and visit, and there's just all of these things to do and people to see and gifts to get and give and all the things. And I am just not that woman. And that's okay. And if you're not that woman and you like the slow holidays too, you just hang out at home with your immediate family. There's some gifts under the tree, but not a whole lot. Maybe you make some cookies, have a nice big breakfast, and you just enjoy having a slow day. It's simple, it's easy, it's not stressful. There's time for whatever, because you don't really have set in stone plans. You don't have a bunch of places you have to go and people you have to visit, all these things you have to remember. It's just so easy. So I want to say this was either a Sunday or a Monday. I can't remember. It was a few days before Christmas. I'm feeding my sourdough, and I prepped some sourdough pancakes for the following morning. So you just put almost everything in a bowl except like the baking powder and baking soda. Pop it in the fridge overnight. And then in the morning when you want to make them, you add baking soda and baking powder, mix it up real quick, boom, start making your pancakes. And then other than that, I made some banana bread today because I've my kids have been begging me to make that. We've had bananas that needed it for like 2 days now, so I finally went and made some banana bread. So this recipe I do have up on my blog, jshindell.com, and it is listed as a chocolate chip banana bread muffin recipe, but you can also make it as a bread loaf like I am here. And the only difference really is that I'm not adding any nuts or chocolate chips today to it, but the recipe calls for 2 cups of flour, a teaspoon of baking powder, half a teaspoon baking soda, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, half a teaspoon salt, half a cup of unsalted butter. This can be room temperature or you can melt it, which I did today. Half a cup of cane sugar, 1/4 a cup of light brown sugar, 1/4 of a cup of Better Body Foods. This is totally optional. This is just something I put in a lot of recipes. 2 eggs, 2 teaspoons vanilla, 4 to 5 bananas, and 3 tablespoons of either orange juice or lemon juice. Today I used lemon juice. You can do the zest of an orange. I didn't have it, but if you do, totally do it because it's the best. 3/4 a cup of nuts if you want, and 1.5 cups of chocolate chips if you want. Really simple. Bake it at 350 for 20 to 25 minutes if you're doing muffins. If you're doing a loaf like I am today, it's closer to like 45 minutes bake time. You can go ahead and get the printed version of this recipe over on my website, and I'll link that below in the description box. And one goal I had that I really wanted to get done before Christmas was I needed to shampoo our living room carpet. I do not do this as often as I should because I absolutely hate doing it. But then watching the footage back when I was editing this video, it's so satisfying, and I don't know why. You can't even see like all the up close like set in stains that are on the carpet. In the video, you can't even see that. I just know that they're there. But in the moment doing it, I'm like, oh, I really don't like doing this. This is so like tedious and annoying. But then watching it back, I'm like, yeah, okay, that was totally worth it. And immediately after finishing shampooing the carpet, I was like, oh, this feels so much better. It looks so much better. I'm so glad that I did it. But it takes like an hour and a half just to do this one carpet because I go from each direction and then some of the stains don't lift all the way out. So then you got to get down with like the hand, with the hose and the hand part, and you got to really get those like set in stains. It's just kind of a hassle. The machine is really, really loud and my kids hate it. So I always have to do it when Jeremy's home and he can either take the kids outside or take them upstairs. So I don't know. I always don't enjoy doing it, but we have to have a carpet in here. Like this first floor of our townhouse has a cement slab underneath like the flooring in here. So it's very, very hard. If you drop something on it, it's breaking. Can't even tell you how many things have broken since we've lived here. It's astronomical, the number of broken things from this floor. And obviously in the winter, it gets really, really cold. It's cold on your feet. So we do have area rugs downstairs, especially. And we have this nice large one in the living room, mainly because we've got little kids. The floor gets cold and it's more comfortable to have the carpet down here. But then that's something that requires maintenance. And yeah, Some things just aren't fun, but they've got to get done. You just got to do them. So looking back, yes, I'm glad I did it, but in the moment, I always hate doing it. And I don't know about you guys, but I still have Christmas decor up. Not a lot. I don't do a lot of decor anyway to begin with. But we still have our tree up, and I don't know when I'm going to take it down. I really like having the tree in the living room because when I'm up early in the mornings and I come down here and I can just turn the tree on, it's just such a nice ambiance, honestly. I just really love it. So, I don't know. I might leave it up for a little bit. We'll see. How long do you guys leave your stuff up? Are you like a hard set, nope, January 1st, everything comes down? Or the day after Christmas, everything comes down? I'm curious. So let me know in the comments. What do you do? How long do you keep your Christmas stuff up? And I know a lot of people are working on goal setting for the new year, and whatever people want to do with their lives, that's totally up to them. Totally fine. I don't really set a lot of goals. I would refer to them more as like intentions or new habits that I want to implement into my life. And the way I do that is, I don't know. I'm sure there's like a more technical term for it. I call it habit stacking. I don't know what other people call it, but the way that I've found is like the easiest way to implement a new habit is if you sort of like marry that habit to something in your life that is already a habit of yours. So if there's something, okay, a super easy example is like taking your vitamins. If you're someone who frequently forgets to take your vitamins, put them in your bathroom. And then every morning when you brush your teeth, either before or after, you take your vitamins. And you'll see that once you do that for so many, 20 to 30 days, I think is what the science says it probably takes to like implement a new habit. But if you're someone who has a hard time remembering something like that, like a new habit, and then you're not really getting to implement it because you're not doing it for so many consecutive days in a row, that's why I say marry it to something that you're already doing. You already brush your teeth every morning. So if you just put your vitamins there, maybe you put them in a drawer with your toothbrush or like some sort of visual cue that like, hey, take your vitamins, you're brushing your teeth. Maybe you stick a Post-it note to your mirror. I don't care. Whatever you need to do for yourself. But once you have a new habit that you want to implement and you tie it or marry it to something that you've already implemented into your life, you're so much more likely to gain that new habit, like to implement that new habit into your life. Especially if it's something important to you that you want to be doing, tie it to something that you already do. And that's the easiest way I've found to like implement new things in my life that I want to like be doing more regularly. And I still fall off the bandwagon, okay? I have a gratitude journal. I haven't filled that thing out since like the summertime. I just started doing it again the other day. And before that, my last entry, I think, was in like July. So like, I've really fallen off the bandwagon there. So I just need to marry that to something that I'm already doing in the morning so that I can start my days with gratitude. So lately I've been waking up really early and I've been making a cup of tea and either reading or working on my computer or watching a show. And so really all I need to do is tie my gratitude journal to something that I'm already doing in the morning. So maybe while I'm waiting for my tea to boil, I fill out my gratitude journal. That would be really easy to remember, and I have the time to do it because you put your water on the stove, you're waiting for it to boil, you've got like 3 to 5 minutes there. My gratitude journal is already downstairs, easily accessible. Grab it, fill it out, put it away, boom. Tea's probably ready. So for next year, I haven't really worked on a list yet of things that I want to implement, new habits that I want, or intentions that I want to set for the year. I think that's something I'll probably be thinking about this week and in the coming weeks. I might not have it figured out by January 1st, and that's okay. I don't have to. This is my life. But I'm curious, what are you guys wanting to do for the new year? Do you have new habits that you want to implement in your life? New things you want to try or learn or do? What are you looking forward to? I think one of the biggest and most important things that you can do is reflect on the previous year. When were you the happiest? Like, what were you doing when you were the happiest throughout the year? And when did you feel either the most sad or angry or just not content or not fulfilled in the last year? What were you doing in times when you felt not fulfilled? And write those down, because that's one of the things that I do to set intentions for the next year. Because if there's things that I did this year that made me feel good, well, good. I want to do more of that next year. If there's things that I found myself doing throughout this year that made me feel a negative way, how can I decrease those? Like, if it's something that I can genuinely not do as much of, how can I decrease the amount of time that I have to do that. So I would absolutely advise you to do some reflection on the past year, which is going to help you with intentions and things that you want to implement into your life next year, things that you want to have a focus on. And let me know in the comments because I am super curious. And as always, guys, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.